Hello, I am going to talk to you about the content in Chapter 12, and our first nutrition course competency is identifying the nutritional needs of children. And that the majority of all of Chapter 12, 13, and 14, that particular course competency will be discussed in all of those chapters in great detail. But I'll try not to bore you to death here. Chapter 12 starts out by defining the term nutrition. What is nutrition? It is the study of food and how nutrients are used in the body from the time the food is ingested, digested, the nutrients are absorbed and distributed throughout the body, and then the waste is eliminated. If you will look at Table 12-1, there's a yellow box there at the top of 322. There is a list of some nutrients and their roles. All right, young children have a significant need for nutrients that support growth and provide energy. Older children and adults require nutrients to maintain and repair body tissue and to provide energy. And we all need nutrients because they serve three main functions: supplying energy, providing materials for building and maintaining healthy cells, and regulating body processes. Obviously, young children and older children are going to need more nutrients because they are growing and developing very fast. There are approximately 50 nutrients that are known to be essential for humans. So on your test, I'm going to get you to name all 50 of those key essential nutrients for humans. So be ready. I am just kidding. I am only going to have you work on knowing the ones that are in the content. But there are at least 50. It says approximately. Essential nutrients can be obtained only from food because they are not produced in the body in adequate amounts. An inadequate intake or poor utilization of nutrients can lead to malnutrition or undernutrition. Okay, in Chapter 12, it goes on to talk about the master guideline for nutrition planning in the United States and in Canada. And today, that is called the Dietary Reference Intakes, or DRIs. And then it used to be previously called the Recommended Daily Allowances, or RDAs. And but now it is renamed, updated, Dietary Reference Intake, or DRIs. And several tools are available to help us, and the DRIs are those tools that I'm referring to help us guide us in making decisions about consuming a nutritious diet, being physically active, and maintaining a healthy weight. Helping children develop healthy eating and activity behaviors can have positive lifelong outcomes. Okay, the nutrition guidelines that I'm talking about, the DRIs, serve one or two purposes, which I just discussed, to ensure the adequate nutrition intake and to encourage healthy lifestyle practices. Okay, at the, top of page 325, there is a yellow box 12-3, and it shows the dietary guidelines for Americans as of 2010, the key recommendations, and then figure 12-1 is a peach box at the bottom of 224, so I backed up a little bit on that one, but it shows physical activity recommendations for children, and that's something I wanted to call your attention to since we are discussing children here. Okay, again, the DRIs are nutrient guidelines that are designed to ensure the adequate nutrient intake. Another guide that we have is My Plate, and we have a graphic in the book there, and you've seen the graphic in other parts of the book because I believe I've seen it in several places actually in the book. But that graphic is called My Plate, and Dominique and I were working in the workroom the other night while some of you guys were doing CPR. She wanted to experiment a little bit with a laminating machine, and we also looked at the die cut machine, and there is a die cut of the graphic, the die cut version of the My Plate graphic. And what I'm hoping to do, I'm going to see if I can get Dominique to help me because she did a very good job showing me how to operate that machine. It's different from the machine that I've used previously. The ones that I had access to and the settings I've been in worked a little bit different from this one. But anyway, you can that particular die cut is a representation of the My Plate graphic. And what I'd like to do is for you all to have a copy of that die cut, and we're going to arrange the colors to the way they're represented on the plate and do an activity with My Plate. There's several activities we're going to talk about because My Plate is the website is Choose My Plate. It is an interactive website, and it's a tool that provides consumers with a wealth of information about food groups and healthy eating patterns, nutrient-dense sources of essential vitamins and minerals, portion sizes, and moderation in calories, physical activity to balance the food intake, and then there's recipes for a nutritious food preparation. And that's an assignment that we'll be looking at that website as well as other websites as one of our assignments you will be doing, or as your nutrition project is supposed to be a web review, a recipe. We're going to collect 10 recipes, and then we're going to create a menu. There's 3 parts to that, so when you get a chance to take a look at it, I'll be passing out a paper copy of that rubric next week or in class this coming Thursday. Okay, early childhood programs have the obligation to promote healthy eating and physical active behaviors given the significant increase in childhood obesity in our society today. Excessive weight and sedentary lifestyles have been linked to the development of many chronic diseases and pose a serious health concern. Let's see if I can scroll down here. All right, and we'll talk about some additional nutrient guidelines. Additional nutrition guidelines. There are several other organizations. Healthy People 2020 is actually a document that specifically addresses children's nutritional needs. That would be a good thing for you to Google. Healthy People 2020. It's a document. It would be something that I might see if I could find some extra credit around for anybody that wanted to look up that document. I'm not sure how long it is, but someone that would be able to look it up, bookmark it, maybe save it to a jump drive so that we can refer to it in class. Be a good way to earn some extra credit. If it's not too many pages, then perhaps copy it for us, and I will be glad to reproduce those copies for the class. Just putting it out there. Some other organizations that talk about nutrition and nutritional guidelines. The American Heart Association is a nonprofit organization. The National Cancer Institute, which is also a nonprofit organization. And then I've also mentioned My Plate. And My Plate is a graphic representation of the dietary guidelines for Americans. It has replaced the food guide pyramid. I don't know if you guys remember, the food guide pyramid would always be on the side of, I remember especially cereal boxes, you can always find them there near the food label, the food nutrition label information. But that is no longer our graphic. We go by the My Plate, and the My Plate the purpose was to encourage consumers to incorporate more low-fat dairy products into their diet and to fill half of their plate with fruits and vegetables, 1/4 with whole grains, and the remaining fourth with a lean protein food. Okay, some examples of vegetables. Dark green vegetables such as broccoli, leafy green vegetables like lettuce, spinach. They're high or rich in vitamins A and C, as well as orange and red foods such as sweet potatoes, squash, and tomatoes, as well as carrots are rich in vitamin A. Adults should consume 2.5 to 3 cups of vegetables per day. Children ages 2 to 3 require 1 cup, and then children ages 4 to 8 should have 1.5 cups per day. Fruits, choosing a variety of fruits that are different colors improve your overall nutritional intake. Adults should consume 2 cups of fruit per day. Children ages 2 to 3 need 1 cup, and children ages 4 to 8 require 1 1/2 cups of fruits per day. Then we have protein foods. Proteins consist of meats such as beef, veal, pork, lamb, and wild game. Also seafood, poultry, eggs, beans, peas, nuts, and seeds. And also nut butters, almond butter, peanut butter, and soy products. Foods in this group include protein, B vitamins, iron, zinc, and magnesium. For children ages 2 to 3, they require 2 ounces of protein. Ounces, guys. Children ages 4 to 8 should receive 4 to 8 ounces, and adults should consume between 5 and 6.5 ounces per day. I'm kind of laughing at that one because my husband has an old saying, if there's not something dead laying on the table, meaning some dead animal, then it's not a full meal to him. So our society does tend to eat more meat than fruits and vegetables. So I'm just kind of giving him a hard time. He's in the other room and he can hear what I'm saying. Continuing on, dairy includes milk and milk-based products that retain the calcium content, such as frozen yogurt, ice cream, hard cheeses like Swiss and cheddar, soft cheeses like ricotta and cottage cheese. Yogurt and calcium-fortified soy milk are some other examples. This group is a major supplier of the mineral calcium, which is essential for healthy bone development and tooth formation. Obviously, that's very important for children because they are at ages where their bones are developing and growing, and their teeth are forming, and they're actually losing their deciduous or baby teeth and then getting their permanent teeth. The next group is oils. O-I-L-S. Oils. Oils are not considered a food group. I don't know if you guys remember the pyramid. I, of course, have had to teach that content to students before. It was always the very tippy top of the pyramid and the very smallest group. It's not even considered a food group, but of course oils are present in many food items. Plant oils contain no cholesterol and are considered beneficial. Solid fats or food products such as butter that have been prepared from animal sources are not as good for you as the plant oils. If you'll look at table, now this is in a different chapter, but it's a table 13-1. It's a yellow box at the bottom of page 348. There is a comparison of different kinds of cooking oils. Be interesting, those of you that like to cook. And it does compare those and which ones are the best for certain kinds of foods. Getting toward the end of my time, but there's one last thing that I want to say. Empty calories. Empty calories means foods that are primarily sugars and fats. They contribute only calories to a person's diet. Now, we're going to learn as we move on that fats are essential for children. And some fats are essential for adults. But the problem is the over consuming of refined sugars and fats. The over intake of these things. All right, looks like I'm going to have to stop here and do chapter 13 on another video.